Out on the streets with my head in my hands. I've got no plans, only to see you again. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I like being kicked on the ground. I'm not that strong, but then I come to my senses. Yeah, I'm coming. You can feel real. She feels me, and I feel what is real when she feels me, and I feel. Don't be afraid. Don't do that man with the scar on his face. It's a charade. It's the story you've been living. Yeah! I'm coming. You can feel my power. Yeah. And I feel what is real when she feels it. And I feel what is real when she feels me. Yeah. And I And I feel what is real when she feels me. And I feel what is real when she feels me. Yeah. And I feel what is real when she feels me. And I feel what is real when she feels me, yeah. And I
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little snippet about AstroWorld and what we do because I want to start getting the word out because I think it's becoming more and more of a giant community, and I want to get the word out to some other people. So what we do at AstroWorld is we hold Astro Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time, And we just talk astrophotography. Wednesday's more of a techie kind of advanced intermediate, and Fridays is more of a newbie kind of thing. So if you want to check us out, and if you want to, hang out with some semi-decent people that like to go off the rails a little bit and have fun while they're doing it, come check us out at astroworldweb.com, and you can check out the schedule, and you can sign up for all the free giveaways that we do. We just gave away an Eagle 4 Pro, an Optolong filter kit, Charles Brackenstein's books, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So come to astroworldweb.com, hang out with us, have a good time, and as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Where did my color go? Got your head in the sand. You can't be in control using a powerful hand. I wanna be ya, I wanna see ya. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hide a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue, yeah. All right. Yeah. Cat learns to ring a bell. Rat gets free from the maze. We can be taught to love. We've got to learn a new way. I wanna see you, I wanna be you. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. Yeah, you're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue. Yeah. I wanna be, I wanna see, don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late, late. Push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Yeah, black and white and blue. You're going black and white on the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue. on my telescope now. Damn, what's wrong with this thing?
The lost Lone Ranger, can I break this spell? Do one thing right, do I make you two things wrong? If I want to stand by the line, I will always take the fall. If I just do the left, I can hear from the right. I sleep all day long, and then I'm breathing through the night. I've seen a lot of bankers, and I've seen a lot of cops. I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all of the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. I felt a lot of women who refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take all your money and whatever else spring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 Guitar Players Planet.
Are you ready for the next solar eclipse? October, annular eclipse. Oh. Don't let your glasses fall off when there's a solar eclipse. You might hurt yourself. Let's try that again. Are you ready for the next solar eclipse? Are you ready for it? October 14th this year is an annular eclipse, followed by April, another total solar eclipse, and you can get your own branded AstroWorld telescope solar glasses made by American Paper Optics today on the website, astroworldtelescopes.com, or give me a call, 516-273-3771, and we can get you a set of 4 of these for $9.99. Come on down again, AstroWorldTelescopes.com, and keep imaging as long as you don't have a solar shade on. Keep educating. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Seems to me that I have lost my friend. Got the sunset on the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. You're afraid you're feeling alone. Time and space can never unfold. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghostly embrace can only mean tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back for lands with blue. Oh, na 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 na. Sitting at the lake, I'm feeling confused, but I had my guitar, so I played this blues. But I'm afraid, what might be true, that I might never be back Seems to me that I have lost my friend.
It's gotta mean something. It's gotta.
Oh man, what just happened there? There you go. Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's going on? It's Eric. Oh, you're there. Okay, cool. I thought you were frozen for a second. You're like, but, awesome. We're here again, and welcome everybody. How's it going? We're here for another Friday night, and we had a lot of questions about what potluck night was, and potluck basically is the title of a show that we don't really know what we're gonna do. We don't know what we're gonna do, so we're just gonna be talking a bunch of stuff. What was that? Aaron?
Everything goes.
Everything goes.
Everything goes.
Everything goes. Yeah, absolutely. So last week we had Maxi, 2 days ago, Maxi Falieres. Really great time with Maxi. I think I'm too loud though. I think I'm too loud again.
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing myself way in my headphones. That's probably why I'm echoing. How's that? Is that better?
Now you're too low.
Now I'm too low. All right, give me a little bit. Check, 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 check. How's that? Check. A little more. Check, check.
No.
Check.
Okay, take it down.
Take it down. Check, check.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're good.
Good. All right.
Now,
All
just
right.
everybody, just everybody else, just adjust your volume a little bit.
Everybody, you're too damn loud. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're just going to be hanging out, talking a little bit about Astro, and this is really supposed to be based on a beginner's night. But let's do, before I get into that, let's make sure that the sponsors and everybody get their due. So let me do that really quick. And all right. So for those of you that are new to the show, welcome. We do this twice a week, and we do it on 9 o'clock on Wednesdays and 8 o'clock on Fridays. We do have some sponsors that give us some stuff to give away. And I'm hearing my boiler. Hold on a second. We have sponsors that come in, and Prima Luce and Optolong are two of them. So thank you to Prima Luce and Optolong. Followed by Masters of Pix Insight. And tonight we're giving away a free Masters of Pix Insight workshop. And IP for AP, we give away a yearly subscription once a month on the last Friday of the month. So if you want to get involved in these giveaways, go to AstroWorld.com and sign up for all the giveaways, because we just purged all of the wheels. If you previously signed up for giveaways and you didn't re-up for them as of the 1st, then go back in there and go do that, because your name is probably off. Also, if you want to get any Astro gear, please come visit our retail store at AstroWorldTelescopes.com, and you can get all your gear there as well. Like I said last week, we had Maxi Falieres on astrophotography. He's talking a lot about his images and what he does in Argentina. Really fun talking about the southern sky. This Wednesday coming up, we're going to have Adrian Bradley, Nightscaper, who is been on the show before. This is going to be his second time on here, but he does a lot of wonderful imaging of nightscapes, travels all over the place, and it's pretty darn cool. So come on, check it out. The Wednesday after my birthday, it will be Ron Breacher. Ron Breacher will be coming on, hanging out with us, and talking about some probably new tips and tricks on Pix Insight, and just relatively hanging out. It's always a fun time. And then we have our first timer to AstroWorld TV, Greg Krinklaw, on February 14th. He is the creator of Sky Tools. When we were talking about it on the show a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people had questions on what Sky Tools even was and what can it do. So gave him an email. He decided he'd come back on and give us a run through. So, and then February 21st, we have Bob Denny coming on, and he's going to be Ascom Alpaca has been gaining some ground as far as the wireless Ascom drivers is concerned, or the cloud-based network drivers. And it's going to be good to see him again. He's been on the show about a year ago. He's going to go over Ascom Alpaca as well. And then, of course, Mabula will be coming on. We'll just skip that until he comes a little bit later. So, but he's coming on eventually, hopefully by the end of this year. Hopefully APP 2.0 will be coming out soon. And feel free to come check us out on all of our other social media platforms, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, whatever else. And of course, we couldn't do any of this stuff without the members that we have. If you're watching right now and you're hanging out, hit that thumbs up. If you want to support us with buying us cups of coffee and helping us with our Neef tables and getting more giveaways and stuff like that, feel free to go support us on either YouTube or Patreon. But we'd rather Patreon because YouTube kills you with 30%. They take it. So feel free to go on to our Patreon site at AstroWorld TV and come check us out. And thank you so much to all the members that have been with us. Eric, I saw some people that have been members on either Patreon or YouTube now 3 years now.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Long running.
Pretty crazy.
I mean, it's crazy wonderful, we appreciate the continued love and support for what we're doing here. We are, as far as AstroWorld and what we do, it's a small little community amongst, with us, but we do continue to do our best to try to get the word out to more and more people. And that's all because of you, our viewer membership. You all help us out with getting, the word out to your fellow astrophotographers, maybe within your astronomy clubs or through maybe social media, things like that. So we really appreciate that and continue to do that. And helps us, grow the name and, and make things better for you guys, because all we really ask is just a thumbs up or a like, stuff like that. And really, that's it, And if you like to subscribe, subscribe, on YouTube, ring, click on the bell or whatever. And, you can get updated with whenever we do any other crazy kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, exactly. And tonight we got Dave hanging out with us again tonight. Yeah. So everybody knows Dave. So figured three's good. We've had 3 for a long time. So yeah.
Appreciate it, Dave.
I'm the new Jesse.
In a new Jersey. I spoke to Jessie a couple of days ago, and she's looking on coming back once her school year kind of slows down a little bit. She's going nuts.
I'm sure she is. I'm sure it's crazy.
So yeah, so today is, again, it's beginner's night. We usually do constellation night, but I don't think either one of us has done our constellations.
Honestly, I have not. Hopefully, I'm still fighting a few
I know
issues.
Absolutely.
So I may not even be on, the length. I may, because what's another half hour? So I may be. But yeah, one thing I do want us to do is, because we haven't done it in a while, is hop into the critique folder.
Oh, dude, you missed it. We did it while you were out.
Yeah, they lamb-basted me.
Okay. Yeah, rub the ears. You're not a Ferengi. You're not a Ferengi, dude. You can put yourself back not on mute.
Okay, now we're moving on.
Did you get it all out?
Yeah, I got it all out. Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
You're good.
Moving on. Let's move on.
I'm gonna get like one of those beep noises that I could just do.
Okay.
There we go. So how you doing, everybody in the chat? Matt, Nikon Jax, I see Newman. Hello, Newman. Bob Bryan, Paul Berghardt. I see a lot of subscribers in there. Thank you all for your support. Appreciate that. So, well, today is, in keeping in the realms of beginners night, I guess. I've been having a couple of not issues, but customers calling, and with basic let's like troubleshooting issues, like basic stuff that maybe we think is basic, and it may not be as basic, but as we think. So let's talk a little bit about maybe some connectivity issues that we might have had in the past with either camera to computer or peripherals to computer, or even Wi-Fi issues that may come across when we're dealing with this age of Wi-Fi. What do you guys think of, let's say, your first set of, what would you look at if you had like a camera that wouldn't connect? What would you look at first when you didn't have a problem?
Well, okay. Well, first thing, as far as what type of camera are we talking about? Are we talking a cool camera?
Yeah.
There you go.
Anything, first off, is going to be the cabling.
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously, that's going to be the first thing, because it doesn't matter what brand of camera you purchase. All right. The cabling is the cabling. And especially this time of year in the Northern Hemisphere, when you have, at least in my area, unlike, Mark down in Arizona or something, but us folks in other parts of America, we freezing our bleeps off. And guess what? When we freeze our bleeps off, what do you think is happening to, if you keep your stuff outside, what's happening to your cabling,
Yep.
So
And just humidity in general. I mean, any kind of humidity. I mean, Arizona, you're not getting, sure they have a rainy season, but, for the most part,
because that, to your point, humidity can cause oxidation, right? On the USB, which will, which will stop communication to the camera, right?
It will. It most certainly will. But when you've got these cables, especially some of the ones that actually come from the manufacturers, that come along with the manufacturer.
Well, I was
some
just
of them,
complaining about those flat
they're
cables.
very thin. Yeah, the thin cables. Those types. They're not, like these guys, which is what I primarily use. I mean, which would be like the braided type. I use a lot more of these than I would of the ones that actually come from the manufacturer. But when you have that, especially here when you're, in the winter, in cold weather, they can snap.
Yep.
They can get brittle and they can snap. So, or humidity, you can have oxidation, stuff like that. Or also how you have everything connected. You have to make sure that maybe you don't risk any types of cable snags.
Yeah.
Because with cable snags, you may not know as far, if you are like me right now in my basement and my setup is outside and I'm slewing or if I'm doing meridian flip or anything, if my cabling is not managed well to prevent snags or the possibility of snags, you might end up getting a snag, and then that snag can catch onto the end of your camera or what have you, and can wreak havoc. You can end up ruining, like Dan, you've gone through this, your motherboard on the back of your camera. You end up getting replaced because now you snap the end of your USB cable, and now it's left inside and maybe hard to get out, or maybe something else. So that's the first thing I'm think of. It would be the cabling. It would be my first culprit of almost anything, the first culprit, then I would go, and if everything looks good there or seems fine there, then I would start moving on to the next. But the first one I would think about would be my cable.
Yeah.
Long story short.
So not only even with, the cable could just be too far gone too. So I mean,
Yes.
I've had cables that have come from the box of an object of a peripheral, whether it be a camera or a flat panel, but out of the box, the USB cable was dead.
Like
Yep.
my Alto, we tried to troubleshoot that.
Yep. So it
Couldn't
came
get it
right.
connected. Couldn't get it connected. I'm like, what's going on?
Now normally
Finally, we're like, well, let's just try a new cable. I'm like, this is a brand new cable out of the box. Let's just try a new cable.
Yep.
Sure enough, fixed it.
Yep. So, with all else fails, just change out the cable, right? Because, unless you have a USB cable continuity tester,
yeah,
which not a lot of people have in their house,
I mean, I'm in IT and I don't have one.
I don't have it. I don't have that either. But
when I was in the band, we used to have them for our microphone cables, guitar cables.
Oh yeah. That you could.
We had them for that, but for USB, I was
no.
Like,
They are out there, but USB cables are so cheap and usually just all over the place. Nobody even has it anymore. So now everybody, as far as continuity is concerned, is just worried about like Cat 5, Cat 6, or how to find a breaker. So something like that. But yeah, so all right. So connectivity. What about
power?
What about power? Yeah, what about
power cables as well? Those power cables, they could fail just as easily, depending on their age or oxidation, things like that. I mean, some people, I know you've mentioned this several times, Dan, and I've seen YouTube videos of, Chad from Patriot Astro, actually making new power cables and new connections using, to connect up to a rig runner, stuff like that. So, and make them the right length. So to minimize the risk and stuff like that. Snags, that could, snags and stuff like that. So snags aren't your friend. Poor cable management is asking for trouble. Poor cable management is asking for trouble.
Just like you were showing before, Eric, the little 1-footer cable.
Yes.
That was it. These are really, really great. Don't be afraid to buy those, but to do yourself a favor, test them out in manual mode. Make sure your telescope moves and everything, and you don't yank anything out, because the last thing you want to do is something like this. Hold on. Something like this. Yeah. This is one cable, and with a zip with a Velcro tie on it. I know it's tough to see on the camera because it's kind of like,
Yeah, I see the Velcro and all that stuff.
You see what I'm saying? But this is a 6-foot cable.
It's too long. Yeah.
Don't do this kind of thing to get a 1-foot cable. Just go buy the 1-foot cable and go get it, because I mean, doing stuff like that.
Anything with USB, the shorter the cable, the better data transfer.
The better.
Absolutely. And I believe somebody put in the chat that, mentioning that the long length of USB cables can really all of a sudden screw up your images, really.
Big time. Unless it's a powered
USB.
Then forget it.
That's definitely one of the things that
Dennis mentioned. If you want some high quality cables, look up Ram POW USB cables. I won't use anything else. Extremely well.
Ram POW.
Who is it?
Dennis, his last comment was saying if you want Ram POW USB cables on the last comment.
I'll have to check those out.
That's not the last comment.
I'll tell you the
last
one USB cable I always have an issue with is the one to my mount. And I've got the EQ6. And it's very loose fitting, so it just always bothers me that I wish they would make the EQ6. They make that beautiful power adapter that screws in, not going to pull out. Where the USB, it could almost fall out. It doesn't even have to be tugged a little bit, and I'm worried it's going to pull out. I wish they'd put an anchored USB, where you have the USB 2 that has the little thumb screw that can hold it in there.
Put it in.
Yeah, and make sure it stays anchored.
Like that little click.
Yeah.
Or but do you have a Pole Master?
Yep.
The Pole Master has the USB with the 2 little thumb screws.
With the 2 thumb screws. Yep.
Thumb screws.
Holds it in place. I wish Skywatcher would
more and more would do that. I agree.
So, but I mean, at work, I have a dongle for getting into onboard computers, and it's a wireless dongle. But when I have to download and update it or something like that, it has a USB cable that has a single. It's a USB 2, like a what do you call it? Like a printer style, USB 2, and it's got a single thumb screw that you can screw into it, and it holds it perfectly. Just a single screw, it would hold it perfect.
I think what a lot of them are probably, and if it was me, but probably afraid of, is that if it is jacked in there, then if you're not careful with your cables, now you're breaking a USB port, not just cable. So
true, but the same thing could happen to the power cable. The power cable's screwed in there. That's part of the move. It's right next to it. I mean, that's still part of the moving mount. You can still snag the power cable and rip the power out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but definitely the shorter the better. Less real estate, less chance of a snag. But like, just make sure, please, just you before you start slewing to something on the other side of the sky, just take your telescope and in manual, just watch the wires and turn it this way. Turn it this way. Turn it this way. Turn it this way.
See where they're going.
Yeah.
All the way, and just make sure that you got it. And then once you have it set, wrap them up, let it go. And then if you're lucky, don't use zip ties. Shut up, Dave.
No.
I use the Velcro straps because you can always you can take the Velcro straps on and off and change them if you need to.
Yep.
It's been great since I got the Eagle, which is nice because it makes cable management so much.
Yeah, because everything goes
right up to the top, and you can put everything. The only thing is the mount. That's the one that has to go down. Everything else can route right over the top.
Yeah.
My big thing with my mount is I'm still using my SIM60 since is all of these I'll show you these. It's these RS or these RJ11, but they're supposed to be basically RS 232 with USB.
Yep.
And these things these knockoffs fail like crazy.
Yep.
They do. They fail a lot. You got to be lucky to end up getting one that can last you 3, maybe 4 months. At some point. Some of them they can last longer, but it's a hit or miss with whatever batch you end up grabbing. So I ended up actually going ahead and purchasing actual Ioptron cables, with the actual serial DB9 connection to USB and all that. And they work fine, and that's it's been solid. So sometimes it's a good idea to go with the actual manufacturer's cabling on OEM stuff than maybe an Amazon knockoff. Pending, it just depends on the device. But like with a mount, like you say, you have an EQ6, and stuff like that. Those would make sense, So
that's why I tell people with cars all the time. People go, "Oh, well, I can get this on Amazon. It doesn't cost that much." I'm like, I'm not standing behind that part.
Yeah, no.
That's on you.
Yeah.
And if I have to take it off and put another one on, it's going to cost you the same amount of labor.
Yep.
Yeah.
So all right. So we spoke about power. We spoke about connectivity. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Can't get connected via Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I don't use
That
Wi-Fi.
kills me.
I don't use Wi-Fi.
Because from outside to inside, it sucks.
It does.
Oh. I don't have any
If you-
problem. I got 15 like outside access points in my house.
So
I mean, I have an outside access point. I just don't. When it comes to controlling this equipment, I don't rely on Wi-Fi. I mean,
well, let me put it another way. I mean, I'm not talking about, let's say, if you have an Eagle that you sit there and because everything's on board, right? Everything's on board.
Right.
Now, in some situations, let's say you have a brand new, the Focus Cube 3, let's say, from Pegasus, who does have, if I remember right, built-in Wi-Fi connection, so you could connect to it Wi-Fi, right?
Without a cable. Right.
Without a cable, no cable involved.
I mean, there's ones. What isn't the Alto or the Giotto? Don't they have some sort of Wi-Fi?
And the Asato, they're all Wi-Fi.
Yeah. It's still the signal strength, and I mean, if you're trying to manipulate and do certain things or send certain commands to your system via Wi-Fi, I mean, guiding issues, you're trying to work with PhD 2, and you're trying to send commands and figure things out, and you're doing it over a Wi-Fi signal, it can be a nightmare. I mean,
I worry about the latency factor. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I would rather, especially if you are like, me, Dan, Dave, I'm sure we're all set up in our backyards, right? So spend the money, get some weather-rated Cat 6 cabling. You're probably only going to need 100 feet, if that, and then it depends on how far you are. And put that sucker in the back of either your Melee, your ASI Air, your Eagle, whatever you're using for acquisition, whatever your acquisition computer is. For the most part, all that I've seen, they all have some sort of Ethernet connection. Run that sucker right to your router. You run that sucker, figure out how you can get it into your house and get it into your router, manipulate it, get a little creative, because heck, we're doing all this stuff. I mean, we're pretty creative people. If you're doing this type of a hobby, you're already probably pretty creative doing things to make things a little bit easier for yourself, or you will learn to get really creative. When you're getting started in this hobby. So you don't have to be a super network guy, but just get that Cat 6, put it in maybe some. See, I have dogs, so I put mine in PVC piping, to keep them from doing stupid crap, like trying to chew on it. Because they have done it.
I have dogs too, and I run it out of the Eagle, in through the dog door, and into the router. Actually into the switch, which goes to the router. But
yeah.
Well, I've had when we have these onboard computers now, whether you're using an Eagle, Melee, ASI Air, the new Stellar Mate, whatever you have, it doesn't matter. I'm wondering how, and I've never done this, and I don't think I probably ever will, because you got to remember, I am the last person, I think, on this show that's been a host of some sort that switched to CMOS. So so I was the last holdout. I had my big STF 8300 for 2 years, and then I finally
the old
broke
dog
down.
can't teach new tricks.
Yep. I finally broke down, and now I have 6 CMOS cameras. But you know, that being said, I'm wondering how much, you know, if you put a wireless access point out in your backyard like I have, how much important is it if everything is on board on top and running it, right? And you're just literally using it to connect to the computer that's running it. You're sitting inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does Wi-Fi connections to certain peripherals make sense?
It could, pending. It could, if you're basically communicating to the actual computer or device that manages everything else, the management device, and you have the smaller peripheral. Yeah, and you have the peripheral that are actually just connecting to that management computer. You know, if they're communicating right next to one another, that's fine. I mean, that's not a big deal. It's the connection between you and the management PC that could be somewhat of a concern.
Yeah, no, I'm still not convinced. I mean, maybe Bob will help us next month, convince me a little bit more of the Ascom Alpaca platform. If you know, if something, I don't know, if something goes, if your Wi-Fi goes down in the middle of a sequence, and now you can't slew, guide, focus, whatever, and everything is on the Ascom Alpaca platform and running through that. I don't know.
And
Things
you're
might
in bed asleep.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, because you bring up an interesting point. Now, if you've sent certain commands, all right, you already set up your sequence, you've already done everything, and could, you know, via Wi-Fi to begin your sequence.
Right.
The actual peripherals, they aren't more. They are. Are you connecting them through your actual home Wi-Fi network, or are you just doing a simple point-to-point wireless connection between the peripheral?
I'm asking all these questions hypothetically because I'm not doing any of this. So just so we're clear, I will still use USB until I probably die. You know, unless if something is 100% stable that I'm convinced. I am like Dr. McCoy and the transporter, if you get the whole thing like that. Just don't want to do it. I'll take the shuttlecraft. You know, so you know that's the kind of thing, you know, that I am. Just like the way I was the last one to get a CD player. I was the last one to get a DVD player. I was I'm like three models behind on my iPhone because I think the next one's going to crash. You know, so
same here, bro. I got a 12.
But you're basically talking about having your rig with no cables on it. You got your Eagle on top, which has its own Wi-Fi.
No USB.
Your camera, your focuser, your mount, everything has Wi-Fi. Can connect Wi-Fi into the Eagle, so you have no cables. You don't have to worry about cable management.
Right.
Whether you can connect remotely indoors, regardless whether that's Wi-Fi or with a Cat6 cable or however you do it. But everything on your mount is now wireless. And what happens if in the middle of the night, you're in bed, you're asleep, and something goes down with the Wi-Fi in the system? What happens?
On the actual Wi-Fi, on the actual computer, like the Eagle itself.
Correct.
Yeah.
For the Eagle itself, say.
Or your house goes down, you have no Wi-Fi in the house. Verizon.
Yeah, but the Eagle creates its own Wi-Fi hotspot. It has its own Wi-Fi network.
Correct. But if you're home now, I'm just trying to think, normal scenario, run of the mill. If you're in your home, you're using your home network, right?
Correct.
So you're not using now. If you were using the Wi-Fi hotspot, just the Eagle host Wi-Fi,
correct,
you will be fine. Now that brings up an interesting point because ASI Air also has this capability as well. The host, and they call it station mode, if I remember right. Yeah. So
this brings up an interesting point. So if you do have an Eagle, Stellarmate, ASI Air, whatever, the only thing that the Melee may have an issue. I don't think it pumps its own Wi-Fi hotspot.
No,
You could get a USB Wi-Fi hotspot maker for that. You could do that.
Correct.
But if you were considering, well, here we go. So no, because with Ascom Alpaca, don't you need Wi-Fi out to the cloud, right? You need Wi-Fi. You need network capability. So that's not going to matter. So if you're on Ascom Alpaca and you're even using the Eagle host Wi-Fi, which is just basically a conduit to the software, you don't really have access to the internet through that unless you set it up. And then if you set it up, you're still using your home network anyway.
Your home network anyway.
That's right. So you need some sort of internet access to take to take advantage of Alpaca. At least that's my understanding.
The Matt, he mentioned something that I was thinking of doing. Maybe if I ever move and I'm moving my observatory much further away from my house, I'm definitely going to do this. But he actually used fiber optic cable and a couple of Ethernet to fiber transceivers between his router and his actual computer out in his observatory, and it works fantastically. Kudos to you, Matt, because that was something I was actually seriously thinking of doing, was running some like 50 feet of, single mode LC to LC cable, and get things set, do that exact same thing. But I'm only, like I say, 50 feet away, so Cat 6 works fine. But, I mean, if you were running, because he's running up to over 400 feet, that's awesome, kudos. So.
Well, Matt, you're gonna come to my house and set me up, Matt. So you're not far away either. So I know where you are. So Matt is one of our newest Patreon members. So thank you, Matt, for joining us on Patreon. And if you're interested to check in on his stuff, his is actually at it's called Averted Vision Observatory. So avobs.com. You can check it out.
One thing I did find out, we said to talk about really quickly about Ethernet, just from my own work thing. There is new cabling out called Game Changer.
What is that?
That runs. It is Cat 6. I believe it's either Cat 6 or Cat 7. That runs almost just under 900 feet with no issues.
Okay.
We're running it. I actually bought for work. I bought a 1,000-foot spool of it so I can run it for my security cameras because they're all PoE. So, that way I don't have to, it makes it a lot easier for me for certain cameras. But it's called Game Changer. But it does go over the 300 feet limit. So if you have that sort of a problem, I would definitely still consider it may be less expensive to just get fiber optic cable and a couple of LC fiber to Ethernet converters. But just as an FYI, that is out there. But I love the idea of just using fiber optic. Okay. I got fiber optic, just for my internet, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, optical cabling is hands down going to be the fastest and the most.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Latent free. I mean, but it's not cheap. And to have
one thing I would recommend, depending on how far you have to go, you can get relatively inexpensively. You have to look for the right length. but you can get fiber optic, either multi-mode or single mode patch cables. And some of them go up to like 400, 500 feet, stuff like that. And some of them are also, weather rated, because they have a little bit extra, shielding on them, or insulation rather. Yeah. And then you can vary that and then still get
it's very durable anyway. I mean,
it's very durable nonetheless. And then you can
very
just,
durable.
And then just get the fiber transceivers, fiber to Ethernet converters, and boom, you're golden.
That's really interesting.
So something to think about if you, depending on your distance that you have to deal
with. Fiber rocks and makes you poop.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Yes,
awesome.
Yes, it does.
Everybody poops.
Yeah, everybody does it.
So
what else?
Especially my dogs.
Yeah. So we've spoken about power. We've spoken about USB. We've spoken about Wi-Fi. Just trying to think of anything else out there that kind of people would kind of see as an issue. I mean, we could start talking about software, but I mean,
one thing, and maybe this also bringing up, with software, is how can you during the daytime? Is there a way during the daytime, or maybe if you want to do it just prior to an imaging session, maybe earlier in the evening, especially if you're getting started? I used to have a problem with my mount not properly doing the meridian flip.
Okay.
This was just, because we're talking about newbie stuff and just getting started. One of those things is doing the meridian flip and doing an automatic meridian.
Yeah, and practicing, making sure it's going to do
practicing and making sure that it works.
I remember doing that when I first got my mount.
Through all that would be one thing.
Learning what a meridian flip was. I'm like, what's a meridian flip?
I have the perfect answer.
Okay.
Buy a Plane Wave L350.
Shut up.
Yeah, sure. Throw money at the problem.
Yeah, this is it. Just start throwing money. Dollar bills, y'all. Just start throwing money.
But you don't need to spend all that kind of money. You could get an Avalon.
You could. You could. If you buy the right mount, yes, you don't have to worry about that.
No, but you're right. I mean,
that discount on that Plane Wave there, Dan.
Yeah,
But I do remember literally doing it, setting it up in my living room, and giving it fake coordinates to make sure that it would track, and automatically flip.
Yep.
And watching it to make sure it would do it. When I first started imaging, I'll never forget. It was like, I don't care what time of night, I'd always make sure I would be watching it.
Oh, I did that. Sure. I did that for a while until when I first got my Peer. Whenever you change something on your setup, you kind of like it. If you're gonna let it run all night, you'll always want to make sure that and just so you know what. Well, let's explain what a meridian flip really is for those people that are out there that don't understand what a meridian flip is. So as you track through the night, right, your object is going to hit an imaginary line in the sky called the meridian, right? And that's the spot at which your weights are going to be higher than your telescope if it continues to go any further, right? And you never want your weights higher than your telescope, right? So what's going to happen is the telescope will then flip so that the telescope is on the other side and the weight is on the other side. So the weights will continue to be on the bottom, no matter what you do. Now, everything has a meridian time or transitory line where it goes to the meridian. At least you could get that basically on anything where it's going to hit the meridian. And you could just go to that object, even use Stellarium, put the meridian line in the sky, hit something that's, what is it, east of the meridian? So it passes west,
east
right?
to west, yeah.
So East of Million. So go, even if it's a star, just hit something and just wait a couple of minutes and then watch your telescope flip. As long as you have it set up to do that. And, there are certain offsets with meridian flips. How far past the meridian do you want to go, or are you capable of going until, it becomes necessary to make a flip due to either damage of the telescope or your pier or just
camera or something.
anything. So just make sure that you do that. And I did that for a long time. I wake up at 2:00 in the morning and I go on my camera on my phone and I watch it do the meridian flip and then I go to bed, So, but for the first couple of months, I think I would literally just image things that were going to pass the meridian before I go to bed, so I can watch it, and
That's
then
what I would do, yeah.
finally, after you watch it a couple times on your phone, and you're like, all right, it's fine, and then you just, and then finally you just sleep and you don't worry about it anymore, and you just sit there.
I had friends over one night, and I was imaging, and we're all hanging out and everything, and they were like watching. I had my laptop up, images recorded across there, like that's really cool. And it was getting ready to do the flip, and I was like, "Oh, you want to see something really cool?
Yep.
Watch this!" And it did the flip, and they're all looking out on my deck, going, "What the hell is it doing?" Well, it's got two eye in the sky. It's got to go to the other side.
Yep.
I call it the black magic of astrophotography.
There you go.
Greg was even saying he put an outdoor cam, which is a good idea. If you have the ability to put a camera outside, maybe in your observatory or in a space that's relatively close, so you can watch.
Like an all-sky camera,
like a nice all sky or something, or maybe even a simple security cam that has a good focus where you can watch, your mount and OTA. Absolutely, I would recommend that. If you can do that, go for it.
So you can see. Well, I'm going to see if I can get this on my computer, but I got my camera. You can't really see it, but my camera's here, and I can see the whole. You can't see it.
Your whole backyard.
Yeah, I can see the whole backyard. And this is a weather rated camera. It's literally got two lenses, so you got, I think it's like 170-degree field of view.
I have one right here. I just have to get it set up.
That's the Waze one, which is even great. And that was like $40, that camera, right? That camera was
I don't know. It was something we got for Christmas.
Yeah.
So I have them on the side of the house, the front of the house already, but we got this one that I have to set up that we're figuring. We have all sides of our house, 300, almost full view around the house, except for the backyard. I'm like, well, we need to set that up so I can at least see my mount as well.
Yeah.
So I got to get it set up, but it needs a power connection. So I have to figure out where I can put it.
Those need a power. That's why it's literally been sitting in my bedroom unhooked up to anything, because it does need power. Those are really good if you have like a dome where it's automated dome and you can just throw it in there and it's going to be protected from, even though it is weather rated, you still need power. So the camera that I have is PoE. So I got the switch here. I got the camera literally on the other side of this wall and pointing outside, and it's PoE, and it just gets powered from the
nice
internet.
Thing about this one, it's infrared, so there's no light on it. It doesn't turn a light on. Where the ones I have on the side and the front will turn a light on, with motion detector, turns a light on.
Like a visible light.
Yeah.
Well,
so at least
you got to be careful
with the house.
Well, you got to be careful with those infrared cameras. When you're imaging, make sure you turn it off.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I have known people that have seen interference with the infrared lights of the camera.
Oh, really?
That actually, if it's pointed at your scope, you'll actually see the infrared light beams while you're imaging.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so make sure that you buy a camera that you could turn those on and off.
Yeah, I think you can on this one. You can turn it on or off. So
yeah, so if you don't see it, leave it alone. If you see it, then if you see it and you see that there's where the hell is this interference coming from, then I know a lot of people that have been like, "What the hell is this stuff?" Is it? Yeah, it's a security camera. It's a security camera, man.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, because some people go cheap on the security cameras and aren't able to turn off that infrared sensor that you kind of want. If when you're not imaging, you kind of want to see people if they're sneaking up or whatever. That's
the thing. But I mean, I'm on both sides of the house, and I get notifications all night long. Animal seen, and you go and you look at the video, and there's a cat,
yep,
or there's a deer, or there's some critter.
Oh,
out
cat
there
or
that
deer?
sets
Where do
off
you
the-
live? I got like raccoons and rats.
Yeah, we have a couple feral cats and some deer, and that's about it. Maybe a fox every once in a while. And then the other cameras are the Ring camera on the front door and my garage door camera. So, but yeah, I'd like to do something where I can at least be able to pull up on my phone and see that camera and make sure it flips.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can just, okay, it's flipping. All right, everything looks good. All right, good.
Okay, I'm trying to. Where did Eric go?
I don't know. He had a visitor.
Did he?
Thomas Duff says his network has his own UPS. What's UPS?
UPS.
Yeah.
The only UPS is unlimited power supply. That's all I know.
Oh, okay. Maybe. That's pretty good. I guess you wouldn't have to worry about Wi-Fi dropping out then.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice. That's awesome. 9427. And let's see if I can fix this. I was trying to hook up my camera so you can see the camera, but I'm having trouble doing it. So let's see. Where is the 2 up? We'll just change this real quick so people don't see a black screen. There it is. My dogs keep on barking.
Mine are quiet. I'm actually surprised.
I'm not sure what happened to Eric, but there we go. We'll do that for now. And well, the names are wrong, but what are you gonna do? There you go. Dan is having no, I'm not having trouble with USB cables at all. I'm just saying that it's one of those things that
everybody has problems.
That comes across our daily imaging, and things are working one day, and then the next thing you know, all of a sudden, I got no connection, and need a new motherboard. But it's like one of those things that always happen. Like I think it was Chris Ferguson that threw up deoxit for the USB cables, and definitely that could definitely help rejuvenate. It's really an awesome product. If you have it, get it. But it will definitely help you with your oxidation if you have it. Could definitely rejuvenate them for you and hopefully save a cable. But in all fairness, I mean, most of us, if not all of us, I think, have I don't know, a crap ton of USB cables, that that are floating around. I got one that's like here, just hanging out. I got 2 USB hubs sitting here. I got USB card readers, and everything. So Deoxit, it's great. It's great. I mean, so definitely use it if you got it. Works well. Absolutely. Nope,
I put a very thin little bit of just dielectric grease and the lithium based style.
Oh yeah, so somebody said that in the chat.
I used the lithium base on all my connections, and it keeps it's just preventative.
Yep. Yeah. So somebody put in the chat about the dielectric grease.
Just a little bit. You don't have to use a lot.
Get like a little thing and just put some in there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So what other
It
issues?
Works good.
We could talk. We could talk a little bit about. We could talk a little bit about software. We could do that. Connecting software. Well, again, we're talking beginner stuff. So what are some of the things you're going to need as far as software is concerned, just to connect to your peripherals, cameras, your filter wheel, focuser?
I mean, if you're using ASI Air, it's all-in-one. If you're using the Eagle, obviously you're dealing with a Windows PC, so you're talking about you have multiple APT, Sequence Generator Pro, Nina. I mean, there's so many different acquisition softwares out there. Me, I'm a Nina guy because it's free and open source, and it's hands down the best I ever used. I used APT and SharpCap before, and then once I found Nina, I'd never turn back. But you got to have PhD2 if you're going to be guiding. Those are the key. PhD2 is a must. But as far as acquisition, there's a huge amount of software out there that you can use. Outside of the ASI Air, which is going to be all inclusive.
Yeah, and you got like you said, you got Nina, you got SGP, you got Voyager, you got you got the Sky. There are so many acquisition softwares out there that you need, and a lot of them are free, some of them aren't. So you're gonna pay nothing for Nina. You're gonna pay, I think, $300 for the Sky X telescope control edition, somewhere about that. Maybe $249, $300. I don't know what it is now. Voyager is just as expensive if you want something a little bit more.
SGP is like subscription based now.
SGP, I believe, is $59 a year, if I remember right.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
And what's APT? APT's one time.
It's a one time. Right? Yeah, but I think it's only like $199. I don't think.
It's relatively inexpensive for a lifetime. You can use it forever.
And you know what? I think I have a bunch of APT coupons somewhere over here from NEAF last year. I haven't given away yet, so we could do that.
And APT's gotten a lot better now too, with their addition of the autofocus routines and everything like that. They're kind of trying to keep up with the Joneses, and they're doing a pretty good job, from what I understand.
Yeah, I remember that a lot of us were poo-pooing it because of their autofocus routine, and the autofocus routine was, first of all, it was non-existent. And then it was existent but almost unusable, and now it's actually very, very good. And actually, what's his name that does it? APT.
I can't think of his name.
I picture his face.
Yeah, me too. I hear his accent.
Yep. He's been on the show twice already. And,
who, Evo?
What?
Evo,
Evo Stoyanov. Yeah, Stoyanov. Yeah. Ivalo Stoyanov. Yeah,
that's it.
He's a really good friend of the show. He hung out with us at NEAF, and he had his own table at NEAF as well. And really good guy. That's a funny story, actually. how he actually ended up on the show. There was a comment on Facebook, and somebody was saying, something bad about ATP. I said, and then I commented, not knowing that it was on APT's group, that I said, yeah, why don't you just go grab SGP? It's free. And that was when it was free. And so Evo texted me over Facebook and said, I don't know what this hate is all about on APT, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, Evo, I'm so sorry. It wasn't meant as an insult. I apologize. But you know what? Why don't you come on the show and tell us a little bit more about it, so maybe we could help you out. And we've been friends ever since. So
yeah, it was really great meeting him and Marie, his wife.
Yeah, Maria.
So when we had an opportunity while we were there at EVNIAC, so that was really cool. And it's some good software. So I mean, he's done a lot of.
It's come a long way in the last 2 years.
It has from when he got started. It's coming a long way.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that APT has going for it is they are very good at making sure connectability to all different types of cameras and accessories and everything. He makes that pretty well available.
Yes.
You want to see something cool? So here you go. So we were talking about cameras before. I'm watching your scope, right? So so here you go. So here's my backyard, right? And I'll turn the light on in the backyard so you can kind of.
Oh, you got some snow.
You kind of see it a little bit. There you go. So that's the regular light, and if you got there's my telescope under the
tarp.
Under the telegizmos, but
there's telephone wires.
There's all the telephone wires, and there's more there, and there's more there, and there's actually more over here that you can't see. I am surrounded.
Why do they keep? Why are they still wanting to push to have telephone wires where everything now is digital and fiber optic?
And you see these three, this 1, 2, 3. These three here, these traverse from this pole to my house, so they go right over my backyard.
I don't get it. I mean, all this could have been, nowadays, you get everything underground. It kills me.
Yep. And
that's the East Coast. Everything's still so.
Hey, I live on the East Coast. All my stuff's underground.
Yeah, well, they can't figure out how to do this in New York because they actually.
Virginia, Washington, D.C. area is so much better than New York.
Yep. I hear you.
Capitals are so much better than New York.
Oh boy, I'm not going there. I'm not touching that one. So, yeah, they're too lazy to bury fiber. I just don't get it. It's just they have the technology. It is available. Use it, people. Yeah. Use it. But anyway.
Yeah, if you're in New York.
Yeah, I mean, we have fiber cable. I have Verizon Fios, which is fiber optic cable.
Mm-hmm.
God, the internet speeds are insane.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Can you imagine LIPA trying to bury everything? That would be like $100 billion to not M with M, B, $billion project. They will never, ever do it. It would never even get on the drawing board. They wouldn't even give the Islanders their own coliseum, and they're gonna bury every single wire on Long Island. Crazy. That's not gonna happen. And that was gonna be for free. The Islanders were gonna have a new home for free. Anyway.
I
digress. You want to come in, Pep? You want to say hi? Come on in, Pep. Here you go. Come on, guys. How you doing? Come here, boy. Want to say hi to the people on TV? Here we go. There you go.
Oh,
okay. So have I shown you guys my M78 yet?
I don't think so. Did you?
Okay, let me share it.
Kind of. Show it again.
Yeah, I'll show it again. Sure, right here in PI.
I remember seeing your M42.
Yeah, the new and improved M42. That's not so red.
Saw it, yeah. Oh, yeah, I like it.
Let me make you bigger. Virtual Eric. Where's Eric? There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So
blow them up.
This one, this is basically HALRGB, a mixture of where I ripped out. Of course, I ripped out the stars. There are all the stars. And finally, trying to get better with generalized hyperbolic stretch.
Yep,
is one thing that I'm trying to do. But I guess I'm doing the not so. Is it? I don't know. Maybe if it's cheating in a way where you do the histogram stretch, the initial based off of the STF, and then you go GHS. I mean, maybe that's a lazy way.
No, I mean, people have been dragging that process icon to the histogram stretch for a long, long time. That's not. I wouldn't consider that cheating.
Well, because I know everybody, we've always in the beginning, it's STF. Then you do just the histogram stretch for most part, and because that's the way Ron and the Master Pix Insight had, shown and instructed, and in a lot of their videos. But then one thing,
even Adam Block was showing that for a long time too.
Yeah.
Was basically doing histogram stretch first, just doing the basic, with the STF, and then hopping over to GHS from there.
I never do that.
That's what I'm asking, So
yeah,
I was doing
once I found GHS, I've been doing just GHS.
You've been doing just GHS, yeah.
Straight out of linear mode,
yeah. Now, the one thing was when I was doing this was I would do the stretch, right? And then I would do Star Exterminator to rip out the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I would go back into History Explorer and go back when this was prior, to, me ripping everything out. Then I would do another rip of the stars and then go into GHS. And now, what would you guys do? Because to make sure you get the stars ripped out, would you do everything, rip out the stars and do a GHS with the stars, or would you do a histogram for the stars? Just to do the stars.
I go straight into GHS and I do a very minor stretch, and then I
do a very minor stretch.
Yeah, just get the stars coming out into nonlinear. Then I pull them out because I found that Star Exterminator works a little bit better with the nonlinear stars than the linear stars. Then once I've done that, I'll go take the starless and go back into GHS and start stretching the image to the way I like it. Obviously, try not to overdo it. And then later I'll put the stars back in, and with the stars, I'll just go into histogram transformation and get the stars where I like them, and then use curves to add the color and the saturation and stuff like that.
Yes.
There you go. Stars that I want.
Yes, and that's basically, so you're kind of doing it the way I was. You're primarily using GHS though, where I would just do an STF and do a histogram stretch. The one based off of STF. Do that, rip the stars out, and then go back through History Explorer, go back to prior when it's back at linear, and then rip out, then do a GHS stretch, rip, and all that stuff. But that's probably too much work.
The thing I like about GHS is the different modes you can use while stretching your image, and the different controls you have in order to preserve your background colors while bringing out the prominence of the nebula or the galaxies and stuff like that, and the saturation as well. It has a saturation mode where you can pull that up. And I've noticed when I did my Leo triplet, you know, once I got them stretched and I went into the saturation mode, it really pulled out a lot of the colors of the galaxies really, really nice, so that I could, you know, get that baseline there. So once I had it stretched, the colors were already really good within the galaxies. And then all I had to do, like I said later, was just mess with the colors of the stars and everything like that.
Would you do any type of mask while you're doing your GHS to maybe focus on putting out more in one space than another? No?
No.
Okay.
No. Don't have to.
Let me ask a question. So
because of all the different sliders, you can control your background and the actual target image, the images you're working on.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what about, I'm just curious about, and you know, we're always talking about the colors and everything and all that. How do you think, I don't know if either one of you have used it, how would GHS be with dark nebula? Or would it be something that isn't worth it?
I haven't tried it with dark nebula yet.
You know what I'm saying?
I have. And it actually does a pretty decent job. Now, I'm curious to see how this new script that Adam Block just put out works with Dark Nebula, because it has the whole. It's basically ripping off Photoshop with the, you know, some of the things it can do.
Yep.
So I'm anxious to try to do some stuff with that. But I mean, I think I used GHS when I did my latest version of IC 1333.
Yep.
And was able to pull out a lot of that dark nebula, being able to, you know, work the shadow points and control the stretch and everything in between, you know, pretty well.
Okay.
All right, cool.
One question I have.
It's definitely different than just doing histogram transformation. It takes, you know, you got to mess with it, you know, and don't be afraid to mess with it. If anything, you just go back to what you're used to and say, that didn't work. But I mean, you just mess with all the sliders and see what each of them does. Click on different points of the picture and stretch those areas or stretch this area, you know, kind of mess with everything. And that's what I've done. And I've got it to a point to where I kind of know, okay, I need to do this, do that, adjust this, adjust that, you know, and it takes a little longer, but you're able to be a little more exact at what you're trying to get.
All right,
now I've got another follow-up question for you. When it comes to doing RGB for RGB stars, moon illumination, how far, you know, doing RGB stars, at what percentage of illumination would you go ahead and do actual RGB filters? If you're doing a monochrome, you're doing RGB star, and you want to get those RGB stars, what illumination of the moon would, in your opinion, is too bright? Is
85%.
50%?
Yeah.
85%.
Yeah, I would say something like 3/4 or more, because, you know, you got to remember, if you're just using it for the stars, you're not worried about gradients from the moon. You're not worried about it.
Rip that out. Yeah.
Not even that. You don't even need it, because you're gonna rip the stars out of that anyway.
Yeah, that's true. They're gonna be.
You're not gonna be. Your background is gonna be. You use the background from your main image that you're using, and then you just overlay the stars from that, because all you're using that for is the color.
Yeah.
Stars aren't going to get any more definition over time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
So
and your stars, if you're just doing RGB for stars, you're taking shorter exposures.
Yep.
20, 30 seconds. I think when I do like a narrow band and incorporate, RGB stars, I'm doing like 30-second exposures. That way, none of the stars are going to be bloated or anything. They're going to be nice and they're going to be crisp. And yeah, I mean, and those I literally, when in linear, I just rip the stars out. Don't even stretch them.
That's it.
And then,
not even.
And then
dump
stretch
it.
the stars the way I want them, color them the way I want them, saturate them the way I want them, and then put them in the narrow band.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Okay,
Well,
we're almost at time.
Yeah, it's almost 2 minutes to the end of. We didn't even talk about it. You got 2 minutes to vote, everybody. Go there now. You got less than a minute to go vote. Go vote now if you haven't voted for picture of the week and month. And month. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So and month. So you
got I got a couple solid 5th and 6th place entries.
There you go. Sounds like your Capitals.
Hey, 5th or 6th place gets you in the playoffs.
That depends on where you are. Yeah, well, I guess 4th and 5th get you in the playoffs, but geez, looks at this rate, the Islanders aren't going to make it.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's almost there. Tell us when it closes out.
Yeah.
And then I got to eat something because I'm on this crappy cleanse that my wife has me on, and I am starving. I am just starving. I just want to eat something. I just want
you need a good cheeseburger, Dan.
I need like a chicken Parmesan hero. That's what I need.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
There you go.
Nice chicken Parmesan hero. With a side of penne with meat sauce. I'm good.
Oh yeah, God, now you're talking.
I'm good. I just made my spicy bolognese sauce with my. So I make a spicy bolognese. It's like it's heavily. I wouldn't even call it. I would even go as calling it like a meat pie-ish. It's like a lot of meat, but it's got plenty of sauce and it goes good with pasta. But it's spicy. It's a little on the spicy side. It's not crazy spicy. It's not like, but after there's a lot of stuff in it. So it took me like 5.
Kick.
Yeah, it's got a good kick to it.
So we have received 43 votes for the image of the week poll, which was you would choose your top 3 choices.
Okay.
For January 5th, 12th, and today for tonight, the 19th. And then we have a total right now of 135 votes for image of the month. So let's go here and we'll do a quick recap.
And when you switch, I'm gonna try and do something here. Tell me if you guys like this and see if it works. So when you all right. And let's see if this works. You ready? Watch the screen. Let's see.
Yeah.
Woo! There you go. Let's see. We'll do this one. How about this? Eric keeps on changing stuff. Let's see. Cube zoom. How's this? Oh, I got to go back. It's not doing it. Let's see. We'll quick play that, and then we'll fly rotate. Here you go.
Okay. So we have our image of the year that to recap. So Tom, again, congrats for your image of the year for last year of the Pleiades. And we have Kevin. He was the last winner of image of the week for December. So here we had Tom Peter with his NGC 1333 image. Greg Myers, Horsehead.
That image is amazing.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
That is ridiculous. That is unreal.
Mark's also NGC 1333.
Nice wide field image. Really nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's a nice wide field. We have the Christmas tree cone in Foxford Nebula by Dave.
Dave 5th place Schaefer.
Yeah. Dominic's Rosette Nebula. The Flaming Star and Its Neighbors by Nathan. Quite a few bit of nebulosity around here.
That's a really nice
shot.
wide field. And
That
you know,
is
if you
very
look
good.
if you look real close, you can see the tadpoles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep. The Jellyfish Mosaic by Greg.
Yep.
So
I
nice.
saw
That's a nice
Greg in
two-panel
the
mosaic.
chat. Greg's in the chat.
Yeah. Chris is M77.
Another nice one. He's done some
Really
you
good,
do a great
nice
job with
face on it.
galaxies, Chris. I remember your M91.
He does a really
ones.
good job with Galaxies.
He does. Thor's Helmet by Abraham.
That's
Nice.
really awesome too.
A lot of
I
great
love
pictures
how
this
I
week.
love this is, and I think he may have did this with a Schmidt, like a 9 1/4. So that's what's really, really up there. So that was really good.
Well, it's, I think
The
he said
Leo Triplet by Dave.
Yeah. My
There you go.
background's not dark enough.
And we
sixth
had
place.
43 votes. 6th place. So let's see here. First off, we're going to see.
Well, hold on. Before we say this, the top 3 win, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The top 3 go on and are added into Image of the Month, the Image of the Month contest. So who are the top 3?
All right,
Let's find
see.
out. Dave, you made it.
No way. Get out of here.
Kid GC 1333 by Tom, Abe's Thor's Helmet, and the Christmas Tree
And
Cone.
There you
in
go.
Oxford.
There you
All right,
go.
all right.
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
All right. And what movie was
So
that from?
congratulations.
That's from Dazed and Confused.
And who said it?
Yes.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, all right, all
Yes,
right.
yes.
One of my
All right,
favorite
all right.
movies of all time. I think I lived that movie in high school.
So congratulations
Awesome.
to all of you. And we're going to post all 3 of these on the website.
So Tom,
So these will all represent
Abe,
the past
and
3
Dave.
weeks.
All right.
Yes.
My,
So, all right.
And who was the band they were going to go see, Dan?
I don't
They had to
remember.
go get tickets for
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith. There you go. All right.
Steven Tyler.
My brother actually played with Aerosmith and has pictures with the band with him in it. So he opened up for Aerosmith.
Our Image of the Month.
Here we go.
Is drum roll, please. We had 135 votes. So thank you all for participating.
And I only had to erase about 15. So,
Oh, that's not good.
well, some people with
Tom, the streak continues. Whoa, wait a minute. There's a tie.
Oh, we got a tie.
There's a tie.
You got a tie.
The Heart
Harold
Nebula.
Soto.
And Harold Soto with the Andromeda Galaxy. There is
51
a
and
tie.
51. Holy crap.
You can't make this stuff up, man.
Nope.
You can't make this stuff up.
Wow.
Well, congratulations to you both.
Yeah, well done.
Wow, a tie.
Well done. Well
All right.
done.
Page on the calendar.
There you go.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And that's, I think, Harold's first picture of the month, too.
Yeah, I think that was his
No.
first picture of the
I
week.
think he got one last.
Wasn't it?
Did he get one last year? I
Did he?
thought he got one last year.
I don't know.
Or he got pretty darn close.
Let me look at the calendar, and we can see.
Look at the look at the calendar.
So we got. I actually ordered. I changed. I made it. It might be a little bit. I made a change to the front page, not obviously the picture, but the words and stuff on the bottom. So I'm waiting for that one to come in before I send it out. It says so the rosette is January, Bloodstone, and then Tom Peter in February, Abe, and let's see, Jason, Josh,
later in the year.
Chris. I know Billy Beckett won. Greg, Mark, Billy, Dave won Malott. Ernie Jacobs, Scott. Nope.
No?
He had picture of the week, not picture of the month.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So there you go. So
congratulations.
there you go.
Yeah,
Congratulations to Tom and to Harold. Nice job, guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
you guys are the first on the 2025 calendar.
Yep. And hopefully I could keep track of it a little bit better than I did last year. So,
So
awesome.
awesome.
Well, it's time for dinner, and it's time to watch the second period of the Islander game. So
Well, they're on now. I guess I got to watch
Keep your priorities there, Dan.
Go watch some
hey,
NHL tonight and see how they're doing.
they're playing. They're playing the Blackhawks. So I mean, it's it's Dan versus Eric. So Chicago
In Chi-Town.
in Chi-Town.
I'm still not watching. Tomorrow's going to be fun for me. I'm watching, watching the Lions, and I want to say they're playing Tampa Bay.
Yep.
So that's going to be fun.
I don't know. I you know what? After I got screwed in my fantasy football league, I stopped watching football.
Whatever. It's America's game. It's America's game.
Tomorrow, the Ravens and the Texans is going to be a fun game to watch.
That's going to be a fun one too. Yeah. I'm really, you know what? Even though I'm a Titans fan, I've got to give it to C.J. Stroud.
He's amazing.
His rookie campaign, he's been amazing. I really want to see how far he's going to go. I really want to see how far they go.
I do too. He's a great kid, man.
Yeah, he is.
Got a good head on his shoulders too.
Hopefully, he keeps it there. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of players that once they hit the big league, all of a sudden you didn't want to hear from them ever again. So.
Yeah, you do have some of those, but there are some that are
these knuckleheads.
Still remember are pretty humble, and had good, had some good parents raising them. So
yeah.
All right, cool. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
So let's do final thoughts. Go around the horn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some AstroWorld beads. I'm gonna throw them out to people.
No, just again, great to have everybody. Dave, thanks for hanging out. It's great having you on here, man. So thank you so much. Great conversations, for newbies. Definitely, if you have questions, shoot us a message, leave a comment here in the chat or what have you, or better yet, go to our Discord channel. Go to our Discord channel. So, become a member of our Discord channel. We have Q&A, channel in there. If you have a question, drop it in Discord. When it comes to any of these newbie questions, getting started, don't know where to start, any of that type of stuff, or you're just beating your head up against a wall, doing something and you just don't get it, because trust me, I've been there. Dan's been there. I'm sure Dave's been there. Just, beating your head up against a wall, trying to figure out what TF.
Yeah.
So don't forget our Discord channel. And don't forget, before you leave, give us a thumbs up. Please, give us a thumbs up. And in the replay, give a thumbs up, stuff like that. It's really, really going to help us out. And besides that, just have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next week. And don't forget, I'm going to be everything's set up pretty much now for IOTW for tomorrow. So voting should be ready to roll.
Nice.
Cool. At least entering your images.
Yep. Dave?
Yes, I'll just repeat what Eric said. Yeah, join Discord. If you guys have any questions, I mean, I've had tons of questions answered on Discord. I don't mind answering questions. I'll answer to the best of my abilities. But yeah, it's a great avenue to find out and get information and bounce it off people and see what they do. Because, you know, everybody does something a little different. It may work for you, it may not, but you'll have tons of different ideas to work from, and it works great. And, you know, obviously, you know, for most people, you know, if you have your local astronomy club or something like that, you can always ask them as well. For me, this is my local astronomy club. I consider AstroWorld TV as my astronomy club that I belong to, and I mean, as opposed to it being local, it's worldwide. I mean, people from all over the United States, even abroad, even across the pond. And it's nice to be able to chat with everybody, you know, and see what they're doing and how they're doing it, and, you know, if they have a problem, how they resolve it, and everything like that. It's really good.
So there was a question out there about the new blend script. No, we didn't talk about it yet. We still need to play with it a little bit before we start talking about it, because it's still pretty new. We've all seen the video, but
I'll be watching it tomorrow and playing with it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be working, but somebody just said that the link for Discord isn't working. Hold on 1 second and give me a second, and I won't end the show yet. I'll put the link in the chat for you. Let me just boot up my Discord real quick, and I'll throw that in the chat. But while that's booting up, thanks everybody for hanging in there with us tonight for Potluck Night. I know we started off a little bit about beginners and then started talking about software and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I hope you all got something out of it, because I know I did. You know, because, you know, I haven't taken a photon in 6 months, so I don't really have much to say as far as the you know, I'm hoping to get my Barnard's E done this weekend. So I'm hoping that, and that was something that I imaged in August. So I mean, that's something that I really want to get done, because I literally just found the data on the show the other night. Because I wasn't sure where it was. But let me see if I can get the quote for everybody. I never really remember how to do this. Hold on a second. Where's the set? Is on the settings somewhere. AstroWorld's Q&A. Where's invite people? There, invite people, and then copy, and then paste. There we go. Here's the link for the Discord. Give that a shot. Let me know if that works real quick, and I'll throw that. You know, let me know that's in there. So yeah. So hopefully we can take a look at that that script, because I see Matt's in this. Okay, so I'm guessing it's working. I'm getting people.
Yeah, it's got to be. I just saw Matt wave.
Yep. So there's a Discord for everybody. So that's the one that's working. So again, thank you everybody for hanging out with us. Don't forget, next Wednesday night we have Adrian Bradley coming on of Global Star Party, and it does a lot of really good landscape and imaging. So it's gonna be a fun time. He's a really good. And thanks for everybody for hanging in there. So everybody have a great weekend. Hopefully, you know, the snow doesn't hurt too many people, and you know, stay safe, drive safe if you're driving, and everybody have a great weekend. Take care. We'll see you Wednesday night. All right, we got more people. We got AstroDex. We got a bunch of people coming in on Discord. So there we go. Thank you, Dave, for being the cheerleader. All right, everybody, have a great night. Take care. Have a great
night,
weekend.
everyone.
And as always, remember, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you next time.